All right. I couldn't wait the whole countdown. Our time is limited. And once I saw this person's videos, it's like the movie Step Brothers. I'm watching them like, did we just become best friends? So, yep. So you've Knicks fans, you've definitely seen him. The NBA is about to see him. And now my awkward audience will see him. This is my new Facebook friend. But at Duglust. Dude, how are we feeling? Your first appearance after the Knicks are Cup champions.
I couldn't be better. I'm really happy to be sitting with you. I'm really excited about how the team is playing. I'm feeling very inspired creatively, so everything is going well. How are you?
Yeah, the good. I think this is I guess what we were hoping for. You knew right away. You liked Mike Brown. Pun intended. We should watch. I have the video here, but maybe we'll play a little later. But it's been pretty fire. I think we were going to do this a couple weeks ago, and we had to postpone it. But I was like, don't worry, the Knicks are probably going to go on a 10-game win streak between then and now, and kind of happened.
Pretty close, 9-1 over that stretch. So that's pretty good.
It's good. How has your opinion of the team changed from the beginning of the season to where it is now? Or
no, to be honest with you, I expected a slower start. And I think our fan base is so impatient and so now used to, after 4 or 5, really 5 pretty decent seasons of good quality basketball, that any crack in the facade makes everybody freak out. But I was expecting the Knicks to take a minute to get adjusted and to figure out their rotations and then really click. And that's exactly what's happened.
It feels like everyone on the roster is a weapon. Like everyone is useful in their own way. I know you like Diawara, even Diawara when he was in for Anunoby.
I think he's very, very raw, but there is a purpose for putting him in at the end of, let's say somebody's on the opposition is at the free throw line with 30 seconds left in the half. You could put him in just so OG Anunoby or Cat doesn't pick up an extra foul going into the half, and he can get one stop and go to the bench. So like you said, it's 1 through 15. Everybody is really getting comfortable in what they bring to the table. And that's why I think Mike Brown is doing a great job. And that's why I think the team is doing really well.
Were you okay when they didn't bring back Tibbs, or were you like, no, you want to trust the organization? Where were you in that transition period?
Well, to be honest with you, I had some issues with Tibbs. I think he did a lot to change the culture of the Knicks. Obviously, he turned the team into a winning team and gave us 4 playoff runs.
Yeah.
And I just had issues with him with the current group of players that they have.
Yeah.
Saving aside the change in the bench that happened in the offseason, the core group, excuse me, of McHale, Hart, Brunson, and Anunoby, Cat, Robinson, I thought he wasn't getting the most out of them.
Yeah.
They were still living by the Tibbs ethos of playing hard and giving it their entire soul every time they're out on the floor.
Sure.
But I didn't think he was maximizing the spacing and the abilities of particular players. And I wanted to see a fresh mind enter the picture. And I thought Mike Brown was a great choice.
Yeah. The roster seemed like it didn't fit him last year as much. And it just seems like everyone's kind of bought in. And we're just kind of enjoying the ride.
That's exactly right. Yeah. That's exactly right. And I think, this is not a personal slight towards Tibbs.
Right.
It's just a question of a new leadership style. Mike Brown is also, in a cool way, very chill and trusting. It's not that he's hands off.
Yeah.
But he's very I will tell these experienced, talented players what to do in general, and they will figure it out from there. And I think that works really well. Especially for Bridges, has had a renaissance, and Anunoby's playing even better than he did last year.
Yeah.
Deuce McBride is playing the best basketball of his career. And now Josh Hart, who had sort of an awkward start.
Yeah.
Mike Brown clicked in his head to start Josh Hart. And Josh Hart is on an absolute rampage right now.
Yeah, it was as awkward as his dislocated fingers, but now he's kind of popped it back into place here.
The rookie of the year effect with that finger.
And no one rhymes Anunoby better than you. So
I do it. I hope people aren't getting tired of it, because it's the most fun name to write music around.
Where does your Knicks fandom start? Were you hard in the mid '90s? Were you in on the Knicks? Was it more the Spreewell '99 team? Where did you start going hardcore?
Well, when I was when I was 5, the Knicks were in the finals against the Houston Rockets,
Yep.
and it looks like the jersey you're wearing is sort of
This is my Ewing one.
hell yeah, like
Yeah.
exactly the era that I
Starks
like.
is my guy. But yeah.
I love Mace Starks,
Yeah.
that whole group, and I love Hubert Davis. I feel like people forget about
Yeah, he was a
Hubert
great
Davis,
shooter.
but I love Hubert Davis.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, my brother is 5 years older than me,
Yeah.
so he was kind of he was grown up enough at the time, 10 years old, to understand that it was like a big deal that the Knicks were in the finals, and he
Yeah. Yeah.
shared that excitement with me.
Yeah.
And he's not really a Knicks fan anymore because he moved to California and
Oh,
kind of moved on with his life
don't let
and
that
did all
stop
this other
you.
stuff. But he supports for me, which I
Yeah.
appreciate. But he gave me the bug, when I was that young and we were in that finals run. And Patrick Ewing was one of my first sports heroes.
Yeah, I was watching. I was recording those games 6 and 7 against the Rockets in like my basement on like a VCR, and like I want to record all this, and I'm like living and dying with every basket.
Exactly.
And yeah, that's where my scar run. That's my first deep scar was watching the 6 and 7.
And I'll also
especially that, yeah.
say this. I'll
Yeah.
also say this. My father is a diehard Chicago Cubs fan. He's from
Weird.
Chicago.
Okay.
But so I'm just happy for him if the Cubs are good.
Yeah.
But he gave me also the mindset of being a diehard fan.
Yeah.
Just the mindset of being totally in love and living and dying by how a team does. I
Yeah.
got that from my dad's relationship to the Chicago Cubs.
So I feel like when you're on Twitter sometimes, it's like, because you kind of feel like how I feel. I feel like we have the viewpoint the Knicks should be 82-0 every season, and they should not let another team score. We should win every game 200-0, and there's just no room for error. It's like pitching a perfect game, and but that last pitch was almost a ball, so we're not going to count that perfect game.
It's like when I see stuff like that, I'm like, were you born yesterday and this is your first time watching basketball? Like, this is a long journey. And I think since I've started doing the musical project around the Knicks schedule, I appreciate even more how like you can't play a perfect game every single night. Just like you said, you can't hit every single shot.
Right.
There's nights where they're going to shoot 20%. Can they figure out how to win those games? Probably not every single time.
Yeah.
So it's just appreciating the journey is what I think that's what fandom is.
Yeah. And it's, I guess I'd ask you, have you listened much? Like, I assume you grew up in like Brooklyn, or did you start Chicago?
I grew up in Manhattan. I grew up on the Upper West Side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then, so were you listening to like WFAN growing up, or ESPN New York, or
mostly we had the fan on sometimes, but it was mostly about music in my house.
Okay.
We listened. The radio was on Hot 97, Z100, Q104.
Yeah.
And my brother also loved Opie and Anthony talk show in the afternoon. I think that was on K-Rock. Rest in peace to K-Rock. But that was mostly what I was. And then now later in like in the last 10 years or so, I really have enjoyed the podcast because I'm a professional musician. So I'm learning music all the time, just constantly listening to music for work, so to speak.
Yeah.
So to get an audio relief from that, but just listening to people chat about something that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
That's kind of when I've gotten into the sports radio and sports podcast world as a listener.
Yeah. What it would have been like your band, you listened to everything growing up, because your videos are about every genre. Like you go from Drake to Springsteen to Vanessa Carlton. So like, it's crazy. It's like, were your parents musicians too, or you were just picking it up growing up? Like, I know you play bass.
That's right. Yeah. Well, bass is my instrument that I gig professionally on.
Okay.
Like I'm playing tonight. I play bass in a band that I play with every Thursday night. So I play all over town, events, functions, recording sessions, all that stuff. It all starts with my love of the bass.
Yeah.
My parents are not musicians, but my mom grew up, she was a real hippie growing up. And so she really loves music, and she gave that to me and my brother she instilled that love of music. And my brother picked up the guitar when I was 7 and he was 12.
Okay.
So I was like, I got to pick up a cool instrument like the guitar.
Yeah.
And then when I was 12, I picked up the bass.
Yeah.
And the great thing about the bass is that it is so universally necessary across genres that I always find it in every kind of music I listen to. So like, I love hip hop. I grew up heavy metal was Iron Maiden. Steve Harris from Iron Maiden is my
Okay.
original hero. Like, I love Sam Rivers from Limp Bizkit, who just passed away, rest in
Oh,
peace.
yeah.
One of my first, like, wow, this instrument is really cool. So it's all through bass, but I love all kinds of music. Yeah, and all the stuff it's basically making this project as I just curate a playlist of the music that I like, and that I want to learn how the songs are made. So I go under the hood for every song and learn what all the different instruments are doing and what all the vocal parts are, and that's really fun and cool.
So you like basically like have your vault now of songs, and you're watching a game. I'm gonna pull this one out. I think this has a certain feel to it. And are you writing the song while the game's going on, or do you have to like game stops, we see who wins, and then you have to start filming yourself, get a quick lyrics together, and like what like the beginning to end, the creative process is what fascinates me because everything is like so good and polished. And it is like something, I mean, I'm sure you've said like people have told you Lonely Island, Andy Samberg. I'm sure you've gotten that a lot.
Yeah, I love that you gave me that comparison because I usually get Weird Out, which is also awesome. But Lonely Island I love too because they have a production identity. Like their videos look a certain way, their music sounds a certain way.
Yes.
And the word polish is what I'm going for.
Yes.
So in terms of my process, I've really dialed in. I use Logic, and Logic I've really
Pro.
Yeah, Logic Pro, and this is my studio, my keyboard, my rack of guitars over there.
Right.
And I try to recreate the song as accurately as I can within a short amount of time because I have to make so many of them. So I'll make the tracks, and you're right. I have a bank, I have a vault, which I didn't have last season. I was chasing the games last season, and that was way too stressful.
Yeah.
But now I have somewhat of a bank, but I will still. Let's say there's a day off before a big game, like for the NBA Cup. I had a whole different plan before I went with the Vanessa Carlton thing, which was in my vault. But I had a plan to do something different that I thought of the day before, so I recorded it the day before.
Right.
But now what ended up happening, I found out that Keldon Johnson likes to play 1,000 miles before the Spurs take the court, like he plays in the locker room. So I was like, oh shoot, I have to do that instead. But then the new thing I made was now added to the bank for later. So I just keep this like little economy of instrumentals going. And then I'll watch the game. I don't really take notes, but I take note in my mind of things that happen that are important. And I look at the statistics and rewatch highlights and different moments at the end. And then I listen to great podcasts, Knicks Film School, Knicks Fan TV, Locked On Knicks, that I like. If I have time, I like to get some of their take in my brain.
Yeah.
And I put it all together, and then I write the lyrics, and I usually record and film the next day.
Wow. And then can you have it where you can film like, because I thought at first when you're watching your videos at the first time, it's like there's two of you. Like, no, it's just you doing that whole like 1990s special effects trick where like the guy could talk to himself in the past or whatever it was.
Right. Yeah, I do. Yeah, there's like a little technique on I use Final Cut Pro, and I have to be careful the block where all the me's are going,
because there's three of you sometimes.
Yeah, now I'm experimenting with three. And with me, I'm a very like, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube guy. So when I had the idea of adding a third, I was like, as annoying as it's going to be to do it, I have to do it. Like, and it's whenever I have a crazy ambitious idea, I'm like, crap, I just had that idea and I have to do it.
Right. And then your stuff gradually got seen. So now you've gotten like the rub from I guess Spike Lee saw one of your videos maybe last year. And then but then you actually like Knicks fan royalty Ben Stiller. I was watching your Knicks recap interview a little bit, but I guess you were doing Ben Stiller saw one of your videos and just like hitted you up and like, you want to do something. How did it go down?
Well, he started sharing the videos and tapping in because he's such a huge Knicks fan, and he's really cool on Twitter. He's really like, he will just respond to people all the time.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who they are, as long as it's about the Knicks. So, and then he DM'd me a lyric that made him laugh, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. And so I was just like, what the hell? Because fans are cool. Like, my fans are awesome. They would reply to him when he would repost, being like, yo, when are you going to be in one? When are you going to be in one? So it was kind of on everyone's purview who was paying attention to my videos. And then I asked him, and he said he was down, and I was like, just say when and where, and I will be there with everything we need to make a great video. And he was really, really generous, really, really cool. Performed with all of his heart. It was just like a dream come true. It was amazing.
I have to look it up. Is it available to be seen, or is it
Oh, yeah,
some
yeah, I
okay,
pinned it to my profile. It was after game 2 against the Pacers, and we
okay.
unfortunately lost that game, which is
R
another thing to understand about Ben Stiller, is
yeah,
that he was willing to be in this video after a loss, and he
that's
told me it,
nice.
like, was hard for him. He was like he told
Yeah,
me that he almost called it off, and then he thought, "I can't disappoint you. I can't disappoint the fans. I have to do this." So
yeah.
that speaks to his character.
Yeah. What sucks is sometimes I'm busy where I can't watch the games and I'm stuck like following it on your phone. And I feel like that's almost more stressful because
Totally.
like I watched game 1 of the World Series. I was out of town and I'm watching like the Yankees are up in the 9th inning, like against the Dodgers. Then like all of a sudden my phone refreshed. I'm like, what? They lost like 6 to
How is
5
it
or
even
whatever.
possible?
Like
Yeah,
what happens? You could like you get stuck with this new reality all of a sudden. And like
totally.
how do you deal with it? Um yeah, this is now I'm fascinated by my pitch to you is I feel like if there was ever a time I was in New York, I feel we could write a great song about Tyler Kolek. There's something I'm fascinated about. I'm trying to put my finger on it. Maybe it's because he's just a good pass first player, court vision, 4 years in college. I don't know. He's fighting for a spot. He shows up. Pesky white guy, I feel limits him too much because every team needs a pesky white guy like TJ McConnell. But your impression of Tyler Kolek?
I think it's the Knicks are in a position where they really do need him to be a quality rotation piece because they haven't had a draft hit that is in their rotation in some time.
Yeah,
So, other than Deuce, of course,
right.
but this it would be tremendous to the team's success if he could be the kind of player that he was in that cup final game.
Yeah,
So, and I think that he's a really tough-minded kid. He obviously is under the Jalen Brunson learning tree.
yeah,
He takes a lot of notes to the point where now they're having success playing together.
yeah,
Um, I don't know. I think it's just a matter of if he starts knocking down shots, he's showing that he can defend really well,
yeah,
considering what our first impressions were of his defense.
yeah.
And his passing is obviously his greatest strength. His passing
Mhm.
and his kind of handle, like ability to slow down an offense or to push, just kind of control an offense. And then of course, yeah, so if he can hit those open threes, then you've got a piece. And he's annoying too. Like he steals inbound
Pesky white
passes and he draws charges. So the more of all those things that you already are seeing, the more of those that we can crank up, the better shape the Knicks are in. He would be a tremendous asset as a second round pick.
So comedically, this is how I think he can fit in. I feel like with a little bit of AI, I'm gonna share a couple of these scenes, see what pops up. I feel like he's a young Tom Cruise in Vanilla Sky. If we get his face on Tom's, I think that could happen. But
That's
I
our
but I
art direction.
but I realize I think I know what it's more. He reminds me of Michael J. Fox in Teen Wolf without the wolfness.
That is so
He
funny.
is Scott Howard, and there's just something like underdog about him
That's
that
amazing.
that I feel like there's something there. So
I do think Vanilla Sky is a very underrated movie. It's one of my
yeah,
favorite
I
movies.
saw it once. Yeah, I probably have to watch it again and see. But there with everything AI out there, there's just so much you can do. I mean,
It's right down the street from
where
where
you
I grew up.
wow.
When the car goes flying off the embankment, that scene
Oh,
where Cameron
yeah,
Diaz is
yeah,
driving the car. Yeah,
yeah.
that's like right. I used to the playground I grew up in is right over by that shot.
Nice. What was I gonna ask you? Now I noticed also, I like someone in AI made the GIF of like the John Cena's final match, but it's Jalen Brunson like choking out
Wendy.
Wemby. Yeah, which is amazing. I've seen lots of wrestling GIFs. This is why I also thought we would right away be best friends. NWO GIFs you're throwing out here. Attitude Era. Are have you grown up a wrestling fan or you just like the GIFs?
Huge, huge wrestling
Oh
fan.
shit.
I love wrestling. My life, my music, everything is informed by how much I love wrestling. And now
Yes.
I'm a little cooler on the current stuff. It's
Sure.
not doesn't capture me as much, but the Attitude Era was what I grew up watching. I was a WCW kid.
Yeah.
Kevin Nash and Scott Hall are two of the coolest people in the history of the world.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm all about, like just that era. And to me, wrestling is so informative for entertainers because it's like you crank yourself up to
Right.
1,000,
Right.
and that's where because if it's still authentically you, but it's
Right.
cranked up, like it's Stone Cold always talks about that, and when he talked about how he made the Stone Cold character,
Right.
yourself, be yourself, but just turn the volume up, and not to mention the athleticism, the pace, the rhythm, the storytelling. It's art. It's art to me, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for professional wrestlers, who really do think about this stuff and who do sacrifice so much to entertain people.
Right. And like, like a traveling musician yourself, comedian like myself, like jumping around, traveling to go to that gig, or like, where's the next check? Where's the next town?
Right.
Where's the next crowd? We all have our closing set. They have their closing set.
That's right. And another thing that I think about that has really informed a lot of what I think
Yeah.
about is the way some of those people that we're talking about treated money and their contracts and their compensation.
Yeah.
The way that they valued their talent and their skill. And if you listen to shoot interviews, like the way that Scott Hall and Kevin Nash talked about
Oh yeah.
how they negotiated their contracts with WCW and stuff, it really helps you to think about putting value into your talent. And I think that wrestlers are successful wrestlers who draw money and make money. That's like a blueprint for any entertainer in terms of being successful and valuing their own time.
Right. You find your gimmick,
Right.
get over.
Exactly.
You hit your gimmick. You got over. I got all this lingo. You got the Ben Stiller rub.
So yeah, I did. Good. I noticed that early on. I was like, "Oh, okay, let's do it."
no need to repackage just yet. You don't have to flip heel.
Exactly.
Not gonna be any videos of you
it's pretty over right now.
Yeah, you're not gonna like do a heel turn and all of a sudden like break out a Brooklyn Nets jersey. I don't think we're gonna see that at all.
Exactly. You become a Pacers recap guy or something.
Keep riding that Cody Rhodes baby faceness that you have right now.
My daughter and I watched Cody and Drew McIntyre last night from Saturday Night's Main Event.
Oh, we did.
That is a new piece of business that I watched. That was a really good match.
Yeah. And did you watch Cena's final match?
I didn't. I just saw the finish and I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
I know. It was like I watched it days later, and I feel like you have to. It's out of context because he's in that chokehold for like longer than I've ever seen anyone in a chokehold.
Really? Like, makes it seem like it happened right away.
No. This was like a long, drawn out, like 3-minute. You could almost play like Saving Private Ryan music in the background while that thing is
just fading out.
Yeah,
that's like good booking. That's actually good booking, but it's not. It didn't work for the clip.
In the era of clips, it sucks because
right.
he did that. But I if you got to go out, then you go out that way, and you have to, I guess, to be a savant of the arts to understand it,
to understand the brilliance of John Cena.
But for the audience that booed Triple H out of the building when he came into the ring, that sucked.
I don't know what I mean, of course he's gonna put Gunther over like that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Cena could have passed out, but.
Right.
Didn't have, yeah.
But the thing is, you got to give Gunther more than that. Gunther can make anybody pass out, but you got to give him that thing. You got to give him the breaking the streak or the whatever it is.
I think
special momentous thing.
Like you could have Randy Orton was the legend killer, and this guy's like the career ender.
Right.
Because he's probably going to hit Lesnar next. Maybe AJ Styles. All these, he's just gonna get rid of this sweep out all the expendables.
Wrestling fans are like Knicks fans. It's the same thing. It's
the same thing. That's why
when it's good, it's not good enough.
Like, what's the video? Was it like, is it called Sidewalk Talk NYC? Like all those crazy fans.
Talk. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been out in those crowds like after games?
I have. I've never been on Side Talk, but it's
to be among the chaos.
Yeah, it's intense. The Knicks fans want to release that energy when we win, where we've been so frustrated for so long. It's a mass outpouring of like, we did it. So, it's I was out there once after, I think it was after game 1 against Boston. It was after game 1 against Boston. And there was a dude wearing a Celtics jersey walking through the crowd. I was like, bro, you gotta get out of here. And people were pouring popcorn on his head and drinks on his head. You bum, I'm like,
that happened to the Pacers fan. And that happened to the
Right.
Pacers fan last year. And then they give him the red carpet treatment in Indiana.
Hey, man. If that was a gimmick by the Pacers fan, good on him for getting free tickets and stuff. But if he was just somebody thinking that was a good idea, I'm sorry, you're an idiot, bro.
Or was it a big like false flag operation? It was an inside job. We got to get some heat.
Yeah, we got to get some heat. Motivation for Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah. I know you have to head out in a few minutes. Oh man, I could talk wrestling or Knicks with you for like forever.
Absolutely, man. I'll come on again. It's just right now. Everything's crazy. I got to run.
You should. But I feel like if I know you've like been in touch with the Knicks. I feel like your game recap should be played in Madison Square Garden before opening tip of every game. It's just like, I hope that's eventually, and I mean, I'm sure something maybe you've thought of, but I could see that. I could see like them introducing like the players, and then the coach of the Knicks was Mike Brown, and then bam, I like Mike Brown comes up on the Jumbotron. All it takes.
I want them to play that song. That's the song I want them to play the most.
Now, was that original? Or
what he thinks of that song?
Was that original, or were you basing that off of anything?
That's an original song. That's just an original song.
That's why I'm thinking if we can do the Tyler Kolek song. Anyway, I'll write.
I know. I'm always trying to build on my original catalog. I actually have I can't share too many details on it right now, but I have a song coming out tomorrow that is going to be. Something's going to happen with the song. And
I will try to get this up same day, because it's not just the music. You have the music. You have Mike Brown doing like this big laugh. I mean, I think I even have it here. Let me see. I save it right here.
I like Mike Brown because he runs his shit. I like that bit where he does a full script. I like the fact that he practices, and I think that he wears cool glasses. Won Coach of the Year with the Cavs and the Kings. As an assistant, he had 4 rings. 2017, Kerr had to go. Mike finished the job, went 12-0. He coached LeBron.
I just want one frame.
Now he's got Brunson and Anunoby. Cat can be a serious threat if he learns from Mike's Sabonis sets. Things didn't end so well in Sac, but let's be real, roster was crap. At this point, I'm sick of waiting around. We can do a lot worse. Let's go, Mike Brown. I like Mike.
It's the maniacal laugh that you edited in there. That's like perfect. Like this guy is like off his rails.
I love him. He's crazy.
It's perfect.
He's crazy in a much different way that Tibbs was crazy.
Yeah. Any before I let you go, any Knicks hot takes you have on the team or anything bigger picture with the Knicks that you've been sitting on, or just going to enjoy the ride? Because I have one hot take built on another hot take, not related to the current team, but
I guess I don't know if this counts as hot enough.
Yeah.
But I see no reason to do anything to the main core 6 players that are here in order to get a big star like Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think the core 7 guys.
Yeah, sorry.
But I think that's a really solid core, and any moves that you make should not upset that core. I'm not against trying to improve the team. A team can always get better. The Thunder can trade for Giannis. They can get better.
Yeah.
But this core is really synergistic.
Yes.
And I would be hesitant to change anything about it.
Yes.
That's my take.
Copacetic, as we'd like to say.
Yes.
Get all those synonyms out there. The players dovetail well together.
Correct.
Good. So here's my hot take. This doesn't relate to the current team. I think we should not retire Carmelo Anthony's jersey. Agree, disagree?
I disagree just because I'm a very generous spirit, and I think Carmelo Anthony gave his best years to the Knicks.
Okay.
But I see where you're coming from. I mean, we didn't get past the second round with him, so it is what it is.
And here's my hotter take. I feel like we should retire Jeremy Lin's jersey.
That is a first of all, that's a collector's item.
Yeah.
But second of all, I hard disagree for me.
I was in the Delta Lounge one time in LA, and like I think Ramon Sessions, when he was on the Lakers, came in. So like people were taking photos with him, and I was wearing the Linsanity shirt. So I wanted to get a photo with him, but then they're like, "Oh, we gotta cover up that shirt." And then and he's like, with some of like the Laker girls were with him. Like, yeah, that was fun for like
I'm
2
literally
weeks.
on the Lakers right now, bro.
Yeah.
But Jeremy Lin was on the Lakers at one point.
He was. Yeah, he was on like a lot of teams.
He was on a lot of teams.
A lot of teams. Man. So yeah. So even if your brother's in California, I mean, I'm in California. That I stay connected. Still, he could still come back in.
Well, he did. I have seen the Mike Brown Kings because my brother lives in Sacramento. So I did see the Mike Brown Kings in person a few times.
No,
and I was always impressed by the spacing and the pace. And they had De'Aaron Fox at the time, so they're the fastest offense in the league.
Yeah.
But I always thought Mike Brown was a good coach.
Yeah, and I'd love to see other games. Like, did you see the post? Like, there's $750. You can get a suite for the New Orleans Pelicans game, and it includes the Knicks on the 29th of December. It's like, it's crazy.
It doesn't. I mean, every other market other than New York and LA, it's like you could pay $1,200 and play in the game.
All right, cool. All right, I'll let you go. I look forward to what's coming up next.
Thank you so much,
good,
Evan.
It's good about the wrestlings thing because there's always PLEs. Can always get you back in.
Let me know. Text me when you're like, this is going to be a classic, Doug. You should watch.
Well, my guy right now is LA Knight, so he's always like he climbs and he gets knocked down. He climbs and gets knocked down, and hopefully this year
he'll get. They haven't put it on him yet.
No, he got what got put on him was Bronson Reed doing a tsunami splash on the top of a car, and right now he's indefinitely out with a fractured sternum.
Jesus. Okay. Well, let me know when you think there's a 5-star classic on the horizon.
Yeah.
Text me.
When AEW
and break it down.
If AEW and WWE ever open that forbidden door, we'll see. Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Evan. It was
good deal, man. Have a good one.
I appreciate it.
Best on everything. Yep.
Take it easy.